That's why.
Carol Voights, 4174 West Giles. I have some things here that I've gotten from George Mason University and written by David Griswold, who's a senior research fellow. And this is just to set the atmosphere of what's going on. There's 5 myths about immigration. Myth: America's being flooded by mass immigration. The reality is that the rate of U.S. immigration today is well below its historical averages. Myth 2, immigrants depress wages and take jobs from Americans. The reality is there's no evidence that immigrants cause high unemployment among Americans. Myth: immigrants increase the danger of crime and terrorism. Reality: immigrants are less likely to commit crimes or be incarcerated than native-born Americans. Myth: immigrants impose a fiscal burden to U.S. taxpayers. And myth: the reality is that most immigrants pay more in taxes over their lifetimes than they consume in government benefits. And fifth myth is that immigrants no longer are assimilating into American culture, but the reality is that as with immigrants waves before them, today's immigrants are learning English. Now I want to give some history of immigration and things. This is from Benjamin Franklin. Those who come hither are generally the most ignorant, stupid sort. They're unable to adapt to local values. They're endangering New England's whiteness. Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, Swedes, the swarthy complexions. Only the Saxons are accepted. In American history.
Thank you, ma'am. Your time is up.
You said immigrants. Illegally. They're legal.
I'd also like to mention that we do have some people in the hallways that would like to speak. We will let the people in here speak, and then anybody in the hallway would you ask you to leave so that the people in the hallway can come in and speak? Ma'am,
my name is Patricia Mabey. I live at 5652 Colleen in Mosquito. My father served for 8 years in the Army Air Corps during World War II in the European theater. My mother was Italian. She suffered Nazi occupation, not just of her town of Florence, Italy, but she was also suffered, her and her family, from the occupation of Nazis of her home. They were thrown out and left homeless. She also was shot at by Nazi officers. My first husband spent 4 years in the Marine Corps, did 1 tour of duty in Vietnam, received a Purple Heart, and unfortunately became a disabled war veteran. My second husband served 4 years in the Air Force, also a Vietnam-era veteran. He also served as a military police officer in the Air Force, and later went on to become an investigator for the State of Michigan Department of Corrections, retired. I would like to state for the record that I am not a communist. However, Mr. Laron has named me as such. Not only myself, but every Democratic woman in this room, in this county, in this state, and this country. Online, he posted with a smiley, laughing face and a Batman signal that all these Democratic communist women would be coming here today. You, sir, owe me an apology. Woo! You owe every woman in this room and the husband of every woman who respects his wife that you called a communist. That is the most un-American thing I can think of anyone doing, and you profess yourself to be a great American and a Christian. And neither one of those things, yeah, I know, you're looking at the clock because you can't wait for me to get the hell down. But you owe me an apology. And I'll thank
Ma'am, would you please step aside?
I don't want to. I want an apology. He's made you all look
You
terrible.
direct your comments to me, not to another commissioner.
No, I understand that, but it was his actions.
Ma'am, your time is up. I'm sorry. Pastor Cross.
Yes, Tim Cross, 6450 Bella Road. Gary Foster and I were talking and previously, and just how do we put this thing to rest? Because of all that we're seeing here. And that's why, I told him, I said, someplace or another, if you just say, we're just not going to be a sanctuary city, just limits our sanctuary county, just puts it to rest. And just stops the fighting. Because, this lady before me was very upset. These past few days on Facebook, I've been called all sorts of things. A hater, a racist, a bigot. It's like, my goodness, because it divides us. So at some point or another, it needs to be put to rest. And I think that was at least the thought that when Gary got in touch with me, he said, what's your ideas? I said, let's just do something. Said, we're just not going to do this, and just put it to rest so that it doesn't become a question anymore, and we don't have to go through this constantly. But on the other side, I've been informed that based on something on Facebook, that my friend Sheriff Pullen, I want to make a statement about him, and I think he showed his character here in the way he responded to this. When this initially came out, I called Sheriff Pullen and I spent probably 45 minutes on the phone with him. And when he told me how he deals with the whole situation, I said, that just makes sense. And I mean, I am very honored to have him as our sheriff and to have him in our community. And I think there was some sort of idea on Facebook that I might have been against him. I support what he does. I support his rules. And the reality is, he is a chief law enforcement officer, and it really rests with him. And the reason we talked about doing something like this, to put it forth to say, we're just not going to be a sanctuary county, is to just put all of this to rest. We've got a good sheriff that's an honorable man and a man of integrity, and I stand behind him, and I stand behind what he's doing.
Thank you.
Hello, Tammy Barnhart, Muskegon County resident. Again, the sanctuary city, that could have put an end to it. I can't see any of you would want us to become a sanctuary city. I don't believe that you do. I certainly hope not. I only see a few people nodding that yes, you don't want us to become that. So if that's the case, then why didn't you just vote on it and be done? And then we're done. And it's all over with. We're not going to become a sanctuary city. None of us want that. I don't think any of you really want that. By not voting today, though, and not even discussing that and stating what you really want, I would like to hear from you. Do you want us to become a sanctuary county? Any of you? I feel people shaking their heads, and the rest of you are not even looking at me, just ignoring me.
Emmy, we don't answer questions.
I know that.
Okay.
But I hope that you answer at least afterwards. The other thing again with the pay raise, holy cow, I'm so disappointed. You all, along with those other people, had begged us to give you that job knowing what the pay was. You go out there, campaigned, gave us your promises, and I didn't know that you all expected a raise, or that they expected a raise. If the county was in better fiscal shape, better fiscal health, then I would certainly concur with that. And I do believe that the sheriff deserves a raise myself. However, I just don't think that we can afford it. If I can't afford certain things, just because I might deserve them or want them, I don't go and buy them. And that's just what you all did. That's shameful.
That's right.
That's so disappointing. And again, these backdoor deals, I just don't understand that. Why do you have to have two commissioners agree to have something before you bring it to the table and discuss it in front of the rest of us? Why can't you have a fresh new idea, something that you want to bring to the table, and then all discuss it? Why do you have to have not only the two, which the way I read the resolution, it was just two people, now you have to have the one who brings it forward plus two more? That's just all backdoor deals. That's ridiculous. We want to see what's going on, and it should be discussed here in front of us. Behind the door stuff is not right. Thank you.
Toby Hildebrand, resident of Muskegon County. I too am against the sanctuary city, and I think it's just a bunch of small talk rhetoric, waiting until we all quiet down and disappear so that y'all can make your decision when it's not a heated debate. I also am extremely disappointed in the 2% wage increase. Like everybody else has said, I don't need to go over all the things you already know, that you were elected, you begged us, you knocked on our doors to be elected, and you knew what you were getting paid. I think the county, the state, the federal government should be run like any household should be run. If you can't afford it, you don't buy it. And I'm here today not only to express those views, but to let you know that I watched mainstream news and I found out that they were funded behind the scenes and that the real news wasn't coming across to me, and I couldn't do anything about it but sit and watch. And I learned that I could have a voice here in Muskegon County, and without certain commissioners on this board putting information out and making it available to me, I wouldn't have even known what was going on with all these issues because y'all hide it. And I'm very disappointed. And I have 2 minors at home that are watching this, and I'm also on the note of the minors. I see it trickling down into their school system, and I am completely appalled at what they're learning. I'm getting highly involved in the school system too, and I am so tired of the minority opinions running the majority. Their voices are getting too loud, and there's such a small number of them that I'm tired of them controlling what the majority thinks. And you'll see me again. I'm gonna continue to get involved. As much as I hate public speaking and I hate being the center of attention, it's time that we take back our county, our state, and our country.
Gail Eichhorst, 601 Sumner Avenue, Apartment C. I was upset that you guys tabled that. I would have liked to have seen a vote on that. This county does not want to, we do not want to be a sanctuary county. And, but since it was tabled, it may be brought up again later when I can't be here, because 2 weeks from today I have knee surgery. And I would like you guys to promise me that while I'm gone, you won't do anything I want to do. But that might be too much to ask and maybe boring for others. Anyway, the rest of you, keep me updated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Anna Olson, Muskegon County resident. I'm going to start with the facts. The facts are that every year our jail takes over 8,000 people, from which only the 0.0025% are immigrants. So let's focus on the 99.9975% of our issues today. This community has become a soap opera. Watching a video like this today is so entertaining for not just the people that live in the county, but everybody else that sees us around. Is this what we want? Are we having elected officials here just to make a fool of everybody else in social media? I'm very shameful for that. And the color of my skin defines who I am. Every time I go anywhere, defines who I am. You don't know if I am legal or not. But you assume for the color of my skin that I'm probably not. And therefore I'm targeted. I'm targeted in my local grocery store. And the first time since I've been here for many, many years. He mentioned earlier are your mission statements. And then this county says delivers many services, fiscal responsibility, and appreciation to the community, rich and diverse, while protecting the environment and resources and providing equality of life for all. And you are not doing it. You are dividing us even more, and it's not necessary to know if we are going to be a centralist or not, because we are not, and we are not becoming one. We have 99.9% 75 issues to focus today, and this is not one. Shame on you.
Hi, my name is Elvira Hernandez, and I'm a program associate with the ACLU of Michigan.
Be respectful.
I have lived in Muskegon County. The negative effects on communities with their local law enforcement, AIDS, ISIS, federal immigration efforts have been well documented. Law enforcement leaders all over the country have explained that attaching immigration consequences to police interactions makes ordinary police work more difficult. We've actually heard this from the sheriff. In recent studies, a majority of prosecutors, judges, and police officers reported that ramped-up immigration enforcement makes it harder to protect local communities from crime. Groups have tried to minimize those disturbing patterns by claiming that ICE's detainer requests only target people with serious criminal records. But ICE's own data shows that this is false. The vast majority of detainer requests are issued against people with little to no criminal history. We must remember here that being in the country without proper immigration status is a civil infraction and not actual crime. The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that no person, by the action of being here unlawful, is as an illegal person. There is no such thing as an illegal human being. Many mixed status families not only already live in Muskegon County that contribute by being homeowners, business owners, having children that attend local schools, pay taxes, have families that come to the country generation after generation to pick its crops, cut its Christmas trees, beautify the landscapes, and so on. But now you're going to start to drive them out by trying to do something that doesn't need to be done. Basically, you don't need to do this. It doesn't need to be done.
Sumac, Montague, Michigan. We have a problem in Muskegon County. One commissioner has become a fearmonger, and this is a problem. When said commissioner inaccurately tells his followers that a welcoming resolution is the first step of a three-step process to becoming a sanctuary county, we should be concerned because that's not true. This is a misrepresentation and it is fear-mongering. When he falsely claims that welcoming and sanctuary counties are dangerous and illegal, he encourages and exploits fearful behavior and perspectives. Why would a commissioner purposefully upset and enrage his constituents with such blatant misrepresentation? And what is the commission doing about it? This type of behavior on the part of any county commissioner is unacceptable and must be censured and it must be stopped. It is a threat to the civility of our county. You must insist that he recant his false narrative and tell the truth. You must insist that he stop with his hate speech. You must address this situation and tell the public you will protect them by stopping his abuse of our trust of this commission. By creating the resolution to not becoming a sanctuary county, you play into his fear-mongering. This fear-mongering commissioner has created serious county leadership trust problems, and you must deal with it straight up, rather than trying to softly assuage the unfounded fears he is creating. I'm asking you to do two things. First, amend the rules of your board under the section Rights and Duties of Members to state all chairpersons have trust to ensure in this county commission and therefore shall accurately represent board proceedings and processes to their constituents. Censure members who can't or won't do that. Second, get rid of the unnecessary resolution to not become a sanctuary county as to not embolden his deceptive behavior. Please address the shameful fear-mongering behavior and stop it before it does more harm.
Okay, I've had laryngitis for 3 weeks, so I'm going to do my best. Thank you. And if you guys all want to laugh and titter, that's fine. I was a middle school teacher and principal for 25 years. I'm used to it. It's okay. Chairman Hughes and commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Ellen Beal. I reside at 234 5th Avenue, Fruitport, Michigan. I am not a member of the Women's League of Communist Voters. I am your constituent, Mr. Laring, and I don't appreciate the name calling. I'm here today because I want to bring up an issue that I don't know that people have really thought about. My concern as we do all this draconian, these measures that, you know, we pass this today and it'll just go away, but then Health West is next and something else will be next and Planned Parenthood is already done. At some point, and I'm sure you're all proud, at some point, we are going to get some media that we are not going to want, okay? We are going to get some national publicity that we are not going to want. And I will tell you what will happen. All of the things that we have done to try to make Muskegon a welcoming place, to make it a place where we want to attract businesses, where we want to create jobs that will keep our children here instead of having to go to big cities. All of that will be for nothing. And Watch Muskegon Go will be Watch Muskegon Go down the drain. So this needs to stop. This is not a reality show. This is not funny. And I came before you before because I was an elected official for 13 years. I'm certainly willing to work on a community committee or something to help resolve this matter because it is not reflecting well on our community. Finally, the last thing I want to do is mention once again that I think is very important, that you change your meeting times to a time that working people can attend. The reasons that were given at the time I brought this up back in January was that, the county couldn't meet after 5:30 because the building was locked or because of township meetings. I checked, the majority of townships do not meet during this time, so I would request you change your meeting time to 5:30 instead of 3:30 so that the public and the working public can attend. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Eva Alvarez, and I work with the Michigan Immigrant Rights Center. We're a nonprofit immigration law firm. As an advocate for farm workers and immigrants, I am very disappointed with this resolution. This resolution states that such sanctuary policies are harmful to the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the County of Muskegon. Muskegon County is a really important resource and commercial hub for one of the largest farm worker populations that live in the surrounding multi-county jurisdiction. This is where our families shop for groceries, clothing, receive health care, and access higher education. Muskegon County is home to many migrant and seasonal farm workers who contribute greatly to the Muskegon County economy and are essential to the farming industry. For nearly 100 years, Michigan's migrant and seasonal farm workers have helped sustain and grow Michigan's more than 100 commercial crops, second to California. Michigan is one of the country's leading users of migrant and seasonal labor who are involved in the production and harvest of over 45 crops, and the vast majority of these workers do live in the Muskegon County. In addition to this, the resolution that was introduced in September stated that you would only welcome legal immigrants. To date, 21 Michigan communities have expressed a commitment to ensuring all the residents are welcomed, respected, and included by passing welcoming resolutions, and many more have taken the additional step of becoming official members of the National Network of Welcoming Counties, including Kalamazoo, Oakland, Macomb, Wayne, and Washtenaw counties. These municipalities aim to uplift and unite their communities and promote equity and inclusion for both U.S.-born and foreign-born Michiganders. We urge the Commission to reject this resolution and instead make a commitment to welcoming newcomers.
Thank you very much. Your time is up.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, Doug Guy, Ravenna, Michigan. I'd like to start off and say that I haven't got a problem with migrants who have papers to be in this county. It's the ones that don't have papers who come in under the radar or across over the fence or whatever. I personally have an experience that happened with my son in 2005. His name was Todd Geib. He went missing out in Casanova in June, and he was missing for 21 days, and he was found murdered on the 21st day. Now, it's not been investigated because it was closed right away, but there's a big cross-section of people that live out there in that part of time. June, which would be migrants, locals, illegals. I know that there's a percentage of illegals that are out there most of the time. They have papers, and I know for a fact those papers are pretty meaningless. They're just enough so they can put them to work. Now, I know that I'm really sorry to bring all that up, but it's a fact. Now, we don't know what happened to my boy, how he died, who was the perpetrators, but somebody did it. And if it had anything to do with illegals, then then that burns my rear end. And we're going to welcome illegals. Now that just doesn't fly with me. I mean, you bring people into the county who've got papers and they can go to work because they're really screened really well, fine. But people who come in illegally, I've got a problem. That's all I got to say.
Thank you very much.
Let's all take a breath. Hi, my name is Laura Fitzpatrick. I work for the Health Project and the Coalition for a Drug-Free Muskegon. I came here today to actually say thank you to the County Commission and to your leaders who have been active in our coalition. Listening to this proceeds today, I was struck by how we were all together when we did the Pledge of Allegiance. I was struck by the reasons people are coming forward. We're good, but we just need to get back to that civility. We're all here under, the American flag. So, and welcoming our guests who come from other places. I wanted to say thank you, though, going back to the Coalition for a Drug-Free Muskegon, which has been recognized by the White House, the Obama White House, and other national organizations for its excellence. Many of you have participated in this. Commissioner Mahoney is one of our members, and several other people, and Commissioner Nash has been a member. Just to say thank you. We have several organizations who have been involved at the county, Health West, Public Health, the Sheriff. Mike Poulin, Sheriff Poulin helped start the Muskegon Alcohol Liability Initiative. He helped start the medication disposal. He is that guy who, he is the one who keeps me accountable and on my toes all the time. He talks about integrity, he talks about leadership, and I'm very supportive of the Sheriff as a whole. But I did want to come here and say thank you for your leadership, the County Commission, and really trying to reduce the use of drugs by our youth. So that's what I came here for. That it was really interesting, other part of the conversation today. But so we have a couple of events, and I brought the fabulous Rachel McCoy, who's our staff member to the Coalition for a Drug-Free Muskegon, and I just want to say thank you. So thank you. This team does an incredible job, and the people, your administrators and your staff are pretty awesome at keeping kids safe in this community, so I appreciate that. Thank you, Laura.
Hi there, my name is Rachel McCoy. Like what fabulous Laura gave me a wonderful introduction. So I just wanted to update everyone on some of the great events we have going on, and to thank you all again for your support. This is the same committee, and I believe Terry Sabo was here at the same time too, that approved the county ordinance to prohibit the sale of e-cig to minors. And we want to say thank you because that was just the first step in this huge county project that has been put forth with support from superintendents and principals all throughout Muskegon County. According to our local MiFi, 1 in 4 youth are currently using e-cigs in schools. And so through the No Smoke Coalition and Public Health, we have created a vaping toolkit that utilizes floor graphics, bathroom clings, and messages to parents, staff, and youth to get these messages and to just break down some of those myths with vaping and tobacco use. Also, too, we have a Muskegon Area Medication Disposal Program. Our MAMDP Coalition event is being held on this Saturday, October 26th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We are now coinciding with the original DEA Take Back event.
Well, I think we got a
2 p.m. Let's just get
2
this
p.m.
right.
What did I say?
10 p.m.
Oh, I'm sorry. That would be an all-day thing.
Yeah.
Making sure you don't have it all day.
Yeah, right. So 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Muskegon City Fire Department. And so far, our coalition has taken back some of the probably the most medications, controlled and non-controlled, in the state of Michigan. We have taken back 38,000 pounds. So we have our take back event, and also I just want to say thank you again for everyone's support and Michael Poulin's support for these great coalition initiatives. Thank you.
Thank you. Could I have you send some information to the county commissioners so that they can share that information?
Absolutely. Yes.
Normally I wouldn't let you ask a question, but this is a little bit
important for her and Laura.
Yes.
I'm wondering, because I know, Sheriff, you guys always had the random scan of the stores of selling to minors.
Yeah.
Have we integrated that with the e-cig yet?
We have actually public health, Missy Gallegos, they have done a great job with conducting e-cig compliance checks and decoy operations all throughout the county, along with and law enforcement for the Ally alcohol compliance checks as well. And we are having a new DFC website go live here pretty soon that is going to consist of all of our coalition information. The website's www.drugfreemuskegon.org, so you can access all that information on there as well.